Hey everyone, this is Davis with Star Guidance, and this is a video of how to go through the calibration settings whenever you're first setting up your tractor and installed your hardware kit. So whenever you first enter Agilum GPS, usually you'll be prompted with a profile. So I'm in the start testing profile, but this is your vehicle profile. This is how you can add different profiles. Say if you're moving your kit, you can have a combine profile, a tractor profile. You just be sure to make a new one so then your settings are saved to your actual profile. So you should be able to set that up. Then we're going to, this is just in simulator mode on my desktop, so I can actually move around and pretend I'm driving a tractor, but we'll be able to get the point across on the calibration tips. So the first thing that you want to do is come over to this wrench icon and select wizards. And it's going to be the steer wizard. So this is your the screen that you'll see. You're going to press start wizard. Just press load defaults to make sure that defaults are loaded. And now we're going to start the wizard. So the first few steps are taking measurements for your tractor. Depending on what settings you're in, this is either inches or centimeters. We can check right now. Let's see. It's in configuration. So right now we're in centimeters and meters, centimeters. We're gonna switch that to inches real quick. Just to be sure, we're gonna stop the wizard, come in, start it again. Load defaults again, just to be sure. And now it's in inches, so 110 inches. You'll go outside your tractor. On this one, measure from your front axle to your back axle to be able to get that length and put that in inches. Enter it here. You can just click on it. It gives you this menu, and you can change it. I'll leave it. Oh, there you go. So I'll leave it like that. The next setting is your track width, and if you have duals on, it's your outside dual to outside dual. Whatever is the widest part of your tractor, enter that measurement. Again, in inches. This is your antenna from your back axle. So I recommend putting the antenna somewhere in the front, but you can put it wherever on top of your roof. So make sure you know where the antenna is, and then measure from your back axle to the antenna. And again, this is in inches. So we'll put like 45 inches or something. Your antenna height. So measure how high the antenna is from the ground. Enter that in inches again. Your antenna offset. I recommend being about in the middle. So this is normally 0. If you have other stuff up there and you offset it to one side, that's fine. Just make sure you enter this as an offset. So if you put it off by a foot, 12 inches, and that's positive to the right, or you can do negative 12 inches if it's left. So we're going to put this at 0 again because it should be in the middle. So now we're going to go through more settings. The steer enable mode is switch, so leave that as is. Single converter, that's okay. Citron, leave that no matter what kit you have. Nope. Just keep pressing this. No. Go for this. So this is your roll. I can't do it on the simulator, but on your box, you're going to go ahead and lift up your box and lift it towards the right. So tilt it to the right. If that's positive, you're good. If you tilt it to the right and it's negative, you're going to have to invert it. So you're going to press this down, and it should light up like green like that. Usually, if the connector is facing towards the axle, you should be fine. or if it was easier to install it where the sticker is facing the front axle, then you're going to have to invert it. So go ahead and test that and make sure it's good. After that's done, you can go ahead and go forward. This is your offset, so move to like a piece of concrete that's pretty level, or your yard that's fairly level, and you'll be have a little bit of an offset. So whenever you get to the level part, press this, 0 roll, and it should have some numbers here, and now you'll be completely zeroed, so it knows where exactly level is. So now we're going to go calibrate our wheel angle sensor. So turn your wheels to the right, and you should see this green bar light up. And if you turn to the left, it'll go to the left like that. That's good. If yours is the opposite, depending on how you mounted your wheel angle sensor, you might have to invert it. So if you go to the turn to the wheel to the right and the left side lights up, then invert it like that. Otherwise, leave it as is. Okay, so now drive slowly forward and get it as center as you can. Your center will be somewhere probably a few degrees off. Whenever that's good, press 0, and you'll have an offset of 14 degrees. It's pretty important to get this right, so make sure you're driving pretty straight the best you can. You could always adjust this later on. So now we're going to make sure the direction that the motor is steering is correct. So again, drive forward a little bit, and I can't do it here, but press the auto steer switch to the on position. Be careful, leave your finger on the switch so you can turn it off real quick. The motor will start moving. If it's on, this should be yellow. It'll turn yellow. And then if the motor still is not moving, click this a bunch of times, and the motor should start moving to the left or to the right. If it's going the opposite direction, invert it, but it shouldn't be. So yeah, try that out. Make sure the motor's moving, and account to which direction it's going, and invert it if it's going the opposite direction. So now we're going to do your Ackerman setting. We're going to begin the calibration. Move so that go forward and turn your wheels so that the front wheels are at about a 20-degree angle, and you'll be going in a circle. Whenever that's good, press record and just keep driving around. This usually takes about a minute or so. Eventually you'll see a stop button, and then you're good. So just keep moving around, and eventually you'll see the record button stop. It doesn't look right here because we're on the simulator, but you should be able to see it whenever you're actually doing it in a tractor. Same to the left, so just 20 degrees to the left again, and then press record and keep turning in a circle until it doesn't say record anymore, and then it'll give you an Ackerman level, usually around 81 to 100. It kind of depends on your tractor, but it should be around in that range. So this is the degree that, like the max degree that it'll turn. I like to keep this around 40 or 30, depending on your setup. This is so like auto steer will only turn this much on your front axle, so it's not going to turn over 45 degrees on your front axle whenever it's acquiring a line or turning around. So you can put this at 40 now, and you can always adjust it later if it doesn't seem right. And then press set whenever you're done. Oh, sorry, you can turn your steering wheel to the max limit and then press set like that, and it'll automatically set it for you. For this, our kits are going to be current sensor. It can be touchy. If you're going after you've calibrated and you're going and it's kind of clicking on and off for you, the auto steer is. it's most likely this is the issue. So I like to put it around 35, 38. It might be a little harder to grab the wheel, but we can always adjust it down rather than adjusting up. So start it around 30. Uh, Turn the wheel a little bit, see if you can get any amperage coming up. Most likely it doesn't. Um, so start around 30, and then we can always adjust it in the field to make it easier when you're grabbing the wheel to turn it off. Click past this, and then now this is your uh, minimum movement setting. So drive forward a little bit and enable auto steer on the switch, on the physical switch. This should turn yellow or green, and then you're gonna press left or press right, and this is going to move the motor. So adjust this down to where the motor's barely turning, or just right before it barely turns. You can kind of play with it and adjust the setting. If you go too high, it's going to be really violent and it might break something. So be careful. I like to keep it. Usually, most tractors are around 20 or 10 ish. If you're on the line hawk kit, usually PWM setting is below 8, so around 7. When you're on the Sonic kit with the mounted steering or mounted motor, usually it's a little higher to around 20. But go ahead and play with it on your own and see where you're at. And just keep clicking to the left or to the right to get the motor to start spinning. So once that's pretty well set up, there's one more. This is for proportional gain. So again, have your auto steer switch enabled. This will be yellow. Start going forward. Click left and click right. Whenever you click left, note how the motor responds. So you can move this up and down. The more proportional gain you have, the more violent it'll be. So you can kind of note that. So usually proportional gain is also pretty low, around 10-ish for line hawk kits with the Kia motor, or around 20, I believe, for Sonic kits. You can play with it. The PWM maximum will be your speed that the motor turns. So also note that. Play around with it, get a good speed, and then we can also adjust these later in the field to kind of tune in the settings even further. And this will be the last thing on your wizard. So after you get these settings relatively right, click past it and you're good. So it kind of gives you a note. We can always change the minimum PWM, look ahead settings, and all that while we're in the field to finely tune the steer settings. So now that you're done, we can go ahead and test out some AB lines. So anytime you're in Agile with GPS, you have to have a field open to be able to make AB lines, make boundaries, stuff like that. So we're going to make a field by pressing on the bin button. Well, this is how you enter new fields or open existing ones. For now, we're going to create a brand new one. So brand new one, we can just name it testing. And on a real farm, I would advise you to be pretty descriptive with this so you know which one it is. It's easier to look at your files. You can also add the date or the time if you'd like. So now when you have a field open, you'll get these options down here. Your auto steer option is this icon. So go ahead and press this and press the plus sign. Right now, we're going to do an AB line. When you're setting up your field, you can do A+ lines or curves if you have a curvy field. So we'll just do AB line right now. We'll start going forward. Or press our A. If you're in a real field, I would recommend going to the end of the field and dropping your B point. But for testing, it's okay if you just go a few yards, press B, press a check mark, and you should be good. So you can name your line. I recommend this also being descriptive to help you figure out what line you're using. So you can use like spring 2026 or fall 2025 to make sure you know what you're doing. You can also put the time that you're using it. if you like to see the time. So when that is named, press the green check mark, and you should be good. Drive off the line a little bit, just so that the tractor can respond. And then go ahead and press the auto steer enable switch, and the tractor should go to the line. See how it responds, and we can always change some settings. So the settings that you're going to want to change or adjust is in the auto steer settings under this settings icon. You can play around with this if your tractor is really just moving back and forth kind of constantly. Adjust the steer response a bit. This is your look ahead speed. If you go too slow, it's going to have more of a cross check error, but if it's too fast, it's going to go kind of like a wavy pattern. So you can kind of find the sweet spot on your tractor for that. You shouldn't touch these too much. These are from your configuration. Only if you have an issue, you should touch these. This as well. You can mess around the proportional gain if it's the motor is moving a lot back and forth when you're trying to turn, or when you're going down the line and it's moving back and forth like it's trying to adjust itself. Push this down to make it smoother. Usually that's a smoother ride. And also to adjust your speed, move this up and down and see how it adjusts. If you want to go a little bit faster, move it up, or a little bit down. So yeah, I recommend just in case sending these settings, so you can just press this arrow and click this. I'm pretty sure it automatically sends it whenever you adjust these settings, but just to be sure, I always do this and then press the green check mark, and then turn off your auto steer on your switch, go off the line a little bit, and then enable it again and see how the tractor responds, or do a turnaround, see how it does it, how does it affect the line, stuff like that. So yeah, that's a how to configure your tractor after installing the kit. There will be more videos on how to set up your field, how to do boundaries and headlands, how to set up RTK with the CORS network, and everything like that. So thank you. This is David Star Guidance.